Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to be talking about training for the worst possible scenario. So let's get right into it. Alright, still sick. I don't even think I've uploaded the previous video, but we also have a Christmas episode today. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be conducting training on the worst possible scenario and kind of what that kind of looks like. And when I say worst possible scenario, I mean your shit is completely mangled and you are severely messed up and you need to somehow stay in the fight and how to do that. Now, granted, for people who do not know who I am and never seen my video and just kind of stumbled upon it, I'm just some asshole on the internet. Obviously, my hair is severely shiny, but very, very silky. And I'm also not wearing pants in this video, so that's just kind of who I am. But some things have been going on for the past whatever, and just kind of spurred a little drama section on Instagram and like on a cot. And I just kind of wanted to give my opinions on it because I think nobody's really talking about it other than just kind of saying how silly it is. So from a non-trainer perspective, I just want to, give my opinion as a consumer and as a person who likes to shoot guns and likes to train and likes to be, kind of in that preparedness mindset, what I think of all these kind of silly tactics. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right, so for this episode, I'm going to use a volunteer, and that's going to be Simba here. Everybody say hi to Simba. Say hello. So we're going to use her as or him, I don't even know, for kind of demonstrative purposes. So what do I mean when I say worst case scenario? So everybody has probably seen, using the handgun get shot in the hand, because when people do use handguns, hands and arms are usually hit. So you're busting on a bad guy, he gets hit, or you get hit in the right hand, so now you got to go strong hand only, or you got to transition and go weak hand only. And I think that's a very good thing to actually train. Reason being, like I said, hands often get hit, but also, especially being a dad or somebody that, has little packages that they have to carry around every day, being able to pick something up and being able to run it with one hand, obviously, or, if you're left-handed like me or right-handed like most people are, being able to run the gun one-handed while you have something else in your hand, I think is a good idea, and I think you should incorporate that into your training for those reasons. I mean, I see no real negative, and besides, even if your arm is not holding something, excuse me, or injured or damaged or something like that, there could be a fight between your gun. Obviously, somebody might have your arm, being able to, that's kind of a little bit of a different system there. That's more of an entangled and closed shooting and stuff like that. A little bit different of a tactic or training or technique or whatever you want to call it. But I think the theory or the theorem still kind of applies with that, where you need to train single-handed and you need to train weak-handed, because then obviously that will translate if you're running rifle, and this is a 14.5 on the bit of a heavy side, but I ain't no bitch, so I can run it one-handed, and I can also transition and run it like other people do. Now, the techniques that were shown by this individual, and I'm sure there's plenty of them out there that have different techniques and kind of silly techniques that they do. Big claim of it is just kind of for internet clout and just kind of showing really weird off-the-wall tactics for the idea of just, man, like, wow, that's a really cool idea. I'm gonna go train with that guy because he's got some out-of-the-box thinking and stuff like that. Which I think there is some merit to showing some really, really far outside the box thinking on some of these things, just because, one, it gets kind of the brain working, and also just kind of, like I'm doing, just kind of spreads the word around and gets the conversation going. So I think there's a little bit of that. But actual training from a consumer standpoint, once again, where not LE, not military or any of that stuff, just want to be prepared and have my abilities available to me if the need be. So one technique that the individual was doing, and you may have seen people doing this, is, say my strong hand is down, and let's say I have a wall here, or I have a car, or whatever. So strong hands down, I'm going to transition, right? And I'm going to hold the gun by the mag well, obviously there would be a magazine here, and use the force of my hand to push it into my shoulder. It would be balanced against the wall here. And then as I'm shooting that asshole, I would use my thumb to engage said asshole. Now I'm just gonna let it kind of absorb into your brain what I just did there, and whether or not you would really find this technique viable. For me personally, just as I kind of absorbed it for a little bit of time, I think this technique is a little silly. Again, there's a little bit of merit to it, and I will touch on it later, but through most things, I think it's pretty silly. If I have no way of shifting cover from my right side like this, you know, so I'm shooting this way, where I can't somehow get the gun on my, I guess, weak side shoulder, but actually shoot it like I would normally shoot a gun. I don't know, maybe change positions, maybe find better cover, maybe just, I don't know. To me, shooting it like this is just a little silly. There is no way I'm gonna have a lot of recoil management with this. Again, even if I'm kind of pressed up against stuff, like there's the trigger press is gonna be shit, and my recoil management is gonna be shit. Even compared to my right hand, which is shit. I mean, I can definitely control recoil, and I can definitely press the trigger a lot better using my actual index finger than I can the back side of my thumb. So again, from a consumer standpoint like myself, I am very limited on training time and money. When I go to the range and I'm actually practicing on shooting and not just kind of manipulation and sort of techniques, I want to practice the stuff that's actually going to make me better, being able to actually, you know, shoot either handgun or rifle, whatever, being able to control recoil and all that, and actually put rounds where I'm looking and not practice kind of these weird techniques. So while let's just say hypothetically these techniques are actually legit and you should practice them, most people are probably not going to have the time, again, energy, money to actually go out to the range and dedicate, let's say you shoot 100 rounds. 10 rounds, is that really gonna make you better shooting this technique? Probably not. So that technique in of itself is just kind of, it sort of fails to be a usable technique when people just can't really practice it. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of, there's a bunch of other drills that the individual showed, but to me, I just don't find what he's doing generally sensible, especially when shit is going really, really bad. The idea that you're just going to come up with these weird kind of cockamamie ideas of actually shooting a gun is just kind of not great. However, I will caveat this, at least to kind of sort of end the video here. Like I said, as a consumer, I don't think people have the time, money, or whatever, just the energy really to go train as it is and then do some weird cockamamie fucking technique just because somebody says to do it, because in the worst case of the worst possible scenario, you need to know how to run your gun like that. If the idea was I need to train to the worst possible scenario every single time, well, then everybody would show up to the range, kick their fucking shoes off, and learn how to shoot their gun with their toes. You know what I mean? Because, you know, people get shot in the arms now. We can't use our arms, or maybe there's a big fucking machete attack and everybody cuts their hands off or something like that. Like, just the idea of what is possible and what is likely. What is possible is bad guy needs to be shot. I am preparing to shoot him very good and very effectively using both my hands as if they're not damaged. If they get damaged, I can run it single-handedly. If shit gets really fucked up where my primary is down and somehow, you know, I only got these two fingers, you know, to basically run the gun, it's just like, well, I mean, I guess that's a possibility, you know what I mean? And then, as I said, the caveat to that is I don't think it's good for people to train that way, but I do think there is a little bit of merit to have it shown to people. Meaning, let's go with that scenario. Your primary is down, your support hand is severely mangled, and you only got basically these two fingers to kind of manipulate the gun. Granted, I would give you kind of a pass on that if you don't want to stay in the fight, if your shit's really that messed up and you got just kind of this to, you know, kind of say, hey, fuck you, I'm hauling ass, those kind of fingers or whatever. I think most people would give you a pass if you wanted to sit the rest of the fight out, but whatever reason you wanted to stay in the fight, I think there is a little bit of merit to show, hey, even on your worst day and this stuff is not going your way, you can still run your gun through this really weird cockamamie pincer maneuver here and use my thumb to shoot the actual trigger. I think there is a little bit of merit to that. But at the end of the day, I think you should train as if you're going to be completely healthy and you're not going to get hit, but also train a good portion of single-handed manipulations of the gun, both using it and both fixing malfunction, and not like the craziest scenario that you can possibly think where you have to use your toes to shoot. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you found this information informative, you can like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I do have stuff below if you want to support the channel. Other than that, hopefully I am not sick next time I post a video, because I am sick of it. Pun intended. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be good.